a word from our sponsors. So IHAN. What is IHAN? You've been hearing some sneak previews in Jyrki's presentation in the morning and some information from Antti and Tiina in the previous presentation. Now it's time to dive a little bit deeper into the technical components. The IHAN project is not only about the technical components, but we're also going to talk about the business models. And the business models, we heard some good comments in the previous presentation about the importance of the earning model, the value creation, the value capture possibilities, which has to be in these kind of models for the data economy to succeed. Data economy, of course, depends on data, and data, there is lots and lots of it, and there will be more and more of it. A lot of initiatives, regulation has been put into effect in past, let's say, months now. GDPR, everybody talking about it. PSD2, extremely important initiative on the banking side, where my background is. By the way, forgot to introduce myself. Jyrki Suokas is the name, from Sitra. So PSD2, very, very important on the area of data economy about payments and account information. Will it fly? Will it not fly? It remains to be seen. But the first indications from the open banking in UK are not very, very positive. And the reason is that only the stick has been used by the regulator, the carrot, and then also the carrot disguised as a stick, or was it the other way around, is nowhere to be seen. So forcing people to do something, not the way to go, but just finding a win-win-win situation where everybody can gain value from the ecosystem, that's the way to go. So that's something we're building within the technical ecosystem, the technical architecture of ours. ADAS, one of the discussion points in one of the tables today, how to manage the identity or the identities that all of us have currently in the interweb and in all the other places. So IHAN in a nutshell, who we are, what we're going to do. What we're going to do is establish a protocol, also build the technical components together with what we call pilot projects, building an architecture, an ecosystem of tools, services, where different players, new players, old players, can really start sort of putting the vision that the MyData movement has into something which it can be called a reality, where the data is flowing, everybody is either more satisfied or earning something from the model. And again, bits and pieces of the ecosystem, the architecture we are building, we will be standardizing through a Europe level standardization process to ensure that the components that we build are out there in open source, and the protocols that we are building also can be seen as a standard. So, what we are doing, the idea is that we concentrate on the blue stuff, and everybody else out there can concentrate on the red stuff. And these colors mean that having a foundation, having a platform or a service layer which helps in the process of building the end user services, those services that provide value in the domain of banking, health, whatever that is. Those services can be easier built because then not having to worry about the technical components on the bottom about concept management, identity management, logging and all these kind of things. Those are isolated from the actual red business processes on top. Then the world should become an easier place to build these services, to consume these services, to be able to really start living in the world of a true, open, transparent data economy. We have identified a number, and it's still a number of components that are required on this kind of platform. And what we're doing now is focusing on three key elements around identity in this session. Oops, wrong button. So the idea is that we will be focusing mostly on the left-hand side, on the identity management, something which lives maybe on a mobile phone or whatever sort of device we will be using in our hands or inside our heads or whatever that future may bring. But those components related to the highly important concept of identity. The way we are going to go about this is what I mentioned, the pilot projects. So we have a couple of really good pilot projects who are already working together with us to really make these components a reality. So the first project will be working with just a couple of components, then the next project will build something more, and the next one something more, and in the end we will complete the stack, create the full set of the needed components, the full set of the needed services, so people can really concentrate on building what actually provides value to the end user, the ready business services on top. So pilot projects, those are ongoing. The search for those are ongoing. So in the end, us, Sitra, one of our assets is the funding we will provide for these projects. So if you have a good project which is working on these areas, there's a good way to get that project funded. Just send the application to us and we'll see how we can work together to create a better future for the data economy.